Hey everybody, it's Melissa. We are at the end of May 2024, and you already know I have to give you my top 5 favorite fragrances of the month. Okay, these are the ones I've used the most, and please listen to me when I say this. I wish I could just shake some people in the comment section whenever I see this comment, because I understand some people might be on the slower side. But this series, these videos, with this title, they are meant to be documenting what I enjoy wearing. It's not about, hey, I'm recommending these to you guys. No, because I'll have people saying, how come you're having the same things? You always talk about the same things. It's because I like nothing has really topped a lot of these fragrances. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if I was constantly changing my fragrances every month saying, oh, these are my favorites, guys, these are my favorites. To me, that hasn't happened yet where it's been changing that consistently. But moreover, that also kind of comes across a bit fake in my opinion. If someone's favorites can change that fast, either really these fragrances are fantastic, or to me, I just don't find that to be of trustworthy opinion. A majority of people, when they find something they like, it's really hard to top that one scent. Okay, so please understand that. It sucks having to explain it every single time. This is about me and my taste, not about me recommending what you guys should wear. All right. And as always, discount codes, discount links for these fragrances are going to be pinned in the comment section below in case you guys want to compare prices, you want to save money, support the channel. Of course, buy where you're comfortable. All right. Now I have to give an honorable mention because I was going to put this in this video, but because it's only a top 5, this one would have been, this is basically number 6, but this is the Versace Atelier fragrance. This is Versace's private blend, and this one's called Gingembre Pétillant, I believe. Now, I've only worn this fragrance a couple times in May, but for some reason, before I'd be going to bed, I would go into my fragrance cabinet and I would grab this scent and then just smell it like that. Because to me, I find there was something that just kind of kept drawing me to it. And it's not the type of fragrance that I would wear smell-wise. It does smell like ginger and I love that. But there's a little bit of this Baccarat Rouge sweetness as well as the fragrance dries down. And you'll be able to clock it right in the beginning as well. That to me, I'm still not tired of, right? So when I first wore this fragrance, it was long lasting. Okay, this thing was definitely pushing past 10 hours. And there was a point where I couldn't really detect it as much, but like all of a sudden within an hour, I'm like, oh, there it is, right? And I also applied this on a sweater that I was using kind of as a lounging sweater at home. You guys ever have one of those, right? Like if you're cold and you're gonna go to sleep, you just throw something on, then it's still clean, technically because you're clean, right? So I smelled that sweat. I passed by it again and it smelled like this. And I'm like, dang, that's really good. So to me, this is definitely a fragrance I would love to smell on somebody else. If you're someone that's looking for that sweet scent that, you want somebody to remember it and it to be like a huggable, just memorable fragrance, then this would be a good option. But yeah, I just wasn't really wearing it, but I just couldn't stop wanting to smell it. So I have to add it to this list because it stayed in my mind. I constantly was thinking about this fragrance. So shout out to Versace Atelier, and I would love to try more of their private blends. So that's basically the 6th spot. In 5th place is Bonnie by Day 3. Again, I don't know what it is with these sweeter fragrances this month because it's starting to heat up, right? I'm not really someone that likes to wear as many sweet fragrances or strong fragrances. That's probably a better way to say it just because of the weather I live in. But I love Bonnie. I love the mango in this fragrance. I love the sugar cane in this fragrance. It just smells delicious. It smells like tropical edible, and it definitely triggers the salivary glands to go crazy whenever I smell this on me. So this is the type of fragrance. It's unisex, by the way. Both of these fragrances are unisex. I do find this one to be a little bit more on the feminine side, just because a lot of people's association with Baccarat Rouge goes more feminine, but it is marketed as unisex. So don't be afraid to give this one a shot if you like the sweet scents. But Bonnie is straight up a unisex fragrance. It's a gourmand, so it smells like you want to eat it, you want to lick it. And I just cannot stop wanting to at least sniff this fragrance. It's been it's been a couple months already, and I'll still catch myself doing this. And whenever I spray this fragrance on clothing, it lasts forever. I'm talking days. And even if you were to apply this on your skin, you will smell it on yourself all day. It's very strong, it's very long lasting. So for myself, I only do one spray, at most 2 sprays. I honestly, not even 2 sprays, because the one spray I do is a full, like, you guys have seen the atomizer of this. I'm not gonna spray it right now because I learned last time I have my water here, and then it ended up tasting like Bonnie after I made my video. But gorgeous fragrance, beautiful, very memorable in a way similar to this one. Not that they smell the same, but they're fragrances that are pretty unforgettable. It's not the type of scent that you're gonna smell it and be like, oh yeah, I know somebody that smells like that. I promise you, you won't. And for all of you that love low-key brands, like you hate the Parfums, the Marleys, the Creeds, the designer fragrances, and you want something different, you want to be unique, like this is a house I would recommend looking into in general, because every single one of their fragrances is different. I highly doubt you'll smell one of their scents and be like, oh, they all smell the same. No, they all have such different personalities, and they're all so unique and 100% in their own way. So that's what I enjoy about the brand. Even though I don't love every single one of their fragrances, like I can absolutely appreciate the artistry and the artistic, I said artistry already, right? The artistic vibe of these fragrances, even though like with Philosophia, right? That one's like a cigar, like tobacco fragrance with cashmere, very different from the mango sugarcane fragrance, also very different from their iris fragrance. So, and they have an incense fragrance. So it's just like, I like that they can pull from different things. So it's a brand that I truly believe a lot of people will find at least one thing that they like. They're not going to like everything, but everybody will find one thing they enjoy. And by the way, this is not a sponsored video. I know that was a lot of positivity to say. But no, I'm just completely keeping it real. Like, I love Bonnie, but for all of you that are like deep searching for niche brands, take a look at Day 3, and the price is pretty affordable. Like $135 for a 50 ml that literally lasts all day. So very long lasting, nice sprayers. And then take an extra 15% off. So what, it's like $115, like priced like a designer, or sometimes less than some designers. All right, in third place, this one is kind of shocking to me, but Cologne by Parfums de Marly. I know, I haven't talked about this one in a minute, but this fragrance, y'all, before I made the Parfums de Marly videos recently, I was smelling Cologne in my collection. And instantly there, I smelled that bell pepper, by the way. When people are like, it smells like bell pepper, I get it. But it's sexy. I'm not saying the bell pepper is sexy, but the fragrance is. It's, to me, truly kind of like a Casanova fragrance, similar to how I would describe salt and pepper, where to the male nose, you're just not gonna get it. You are not gonna understand the appeal of this fragrance. It's gonna be such a pass. You'll be like, oh, Harrod's better, Carlisle, Leighton, all that's, or Greenlee, all of that stuff, right? But Cologne is just so sexy to the feminine nose. I kid you not. I wore it again and I was just like, for me, I was loving it on myself. I'm like, damn, Cologne is very underrated in that regard when you compare it to other masculine fragrances from this house, right? But whenever I've worn this around women, it's the same sort of reaction. Not to the point of like salt and pepper, right? Those can get pretty wild, but still very attractive and just like, you know, that I've gotten that reaction a few times when I've worn Cologne. So this is just like an if you know type of fragrance. Truly. If you're not rocking with it, don't force yourself to rock with it. But those of you that love this juice, the reactions you'll get from it is just, it's just the cherry on top, truly. But I do believe this is a Casanova fragrance. It's gonna get a lot of haters from, oh, I don't understand, blah, blah. Let them. Let people get mad on the internet. Like this fragrance, we could keep it a hidden gem from this brand. I really don't mind doing that. Okay, so wait, that's not third place, that's fourth place. I forgot I did like a top 6. In third place is Salt and Pepper by Precious Liquid. This fragrance has really yet to fall off on these lists that I do, because I was using this a lot in the early months of May. The early month. the early weeks of May. That's what I meant to say. It doesn't fail me, dude. This fragrance doesn't fail me. I've talked about this so much that I say more? Yes, it's a Casanova scent. Sexy to the feminine nose, peppery and broxony. Not Dior Sauvage though, because I'll always get that question. They're like, hey, I looked at the notes and like, does this smell like Sauvage? I've only heard the Sauvage comparison from people in my comment section that are my male followers, but in real life with the women that I've been around, and trust me, they know Sauvage. Never have any of them said, are you wearing Dior Sauvage? That smells like Dior Sauvage. That has never, ever been a comparison. That's never been something brought up in real life. And even when I've straight up asked about, oh, what do you think of this? No one's been like, oh, that smells familiar. They're just like, oh, that smells so good. It's so sexy. So gets a lot of feral reactions. Gonna keep it short and sweet with this one. The juice speaks for itself. Okay. In second place is Lafayette Street by Bond 9. I wore this fragrance to the wedding I was telling y'all about this month. And even kind of the moments leading up to that, the days leading up to it, then afterwards. It's just a crowd pleaser. Really, I had somebody ask me what my scent of the day was when I had two people actually ask me what I was wearing when I had Lafayette Street on. But that's also kind of a given because when you're at a social event like a wedding and you're interacting with people, it's pretty common to get that sort of question. So I wasn't surprised when people were asking me what I was wearing, but Lafayette Street truly is just a chameleon fragrance. It will fit with any situation. It's marketed as a unisex fragrance, by the way, but I do find it is a little bit masculine. But what's interesting is when I was wearing this and my sister and I were running some errands, she was like, oh my God, you smell so good. This wasn't recently. This was a story I told you guys before, but for all of the new people, she's like, you smell so good. I would want to wear that. That smells fantastic. So to her nose, when I said, to me, it's a little bit masculine, she's like, I don't pick up on that. So again, everybody's a little bit different. To me, I think it goes a little bit more masculine, but this can easily become a we fragrance if you're in a relationship, you got a significant other, they want to try what you got on, and boom, it smells sexy on them too. It's a win-win. But Lafayette Street is just a great versatile fragrance to get. For a lot of you that are looking for a niche fragrance that's gonna check all of those boxes, that isn't gonna be confused with a designer scent, I think Lafayette Street is a good one to go for. And I know some of you might roll your eyes at me saying that because you're like, oh no, Lafayette Street, totally a designer scent. I think people get designer scent confused with when you wear it in public, people like it, right? I don't think it smells like something like YSL, YEDP, or Dior Sauvage, or Bleu de Chanel. You can, like, to me, I can clearly tell that this smells like a niche fragrance. You know, I have not smelled something like this at Macy's and Sephora. So when you hear people saying, oh, it's designer, a lot of the times they frame it in a negative way when in fact it's a lovable scent. And for the most part, people aren't just looking to fill a collection and have like 500 fragrances. They want things that are going to be straight shooters for whatever situation that they're looking to apply them to. And Lafayette Street is just one that will fit literally everything. So this smells fantastic when you're dressed up. Like for me, I was in a dress. Like I was in my bridesmaid's dress. I had my hair curled and I smelled fantastic with this. And the day before, well, you know what? I think I was in heels with that one. But even with me wearing this on a casual sort of vibe, and you guys have seen me in my white t-shirts, it's clean. Like this fragrance will literally do no wrong in that regard. Performance-wise, it does last over 7 hours. With Salt and Pepper, I do smell this one on myself over 7 to 8 hours as well. And again, remember going nose blind. And in case I didn't mention it, cologne, honestly, it's harder for me to detect this fragrance on myself when I am wearing it, but I do know it pushes past 6 hours. So keep that in mind when you're wearing these things. But shout out Lafayette Street, a banger of a fragrance for sure. In first place is Blue Agave by Precious Liquid. Remember what I said in my last video where y'all should keep your eye on just the baby dent that's forming. It really does not look like much, right? Because I just recently started wearing it. It's been probably a little over 3 weeks, not even a full month yet since I've been wearing this fragrance, and I have completely fallen in love with it. And if you haven't heard my explanation the reason why I haven't been using it, this thing's been stashed in the back of my collection because I know somebody that uses the 50 ml personally. So I'm telling myself, you know, if that's that person's signature scent now, I don't want to be touching it. I got to give them that space, got to give them that grace. But, you know, summertime is rolling around and I'm not really using Elysium because I finished the bottle of it and I know I have the second bottle, but I'm trying to enjoy the other fragrances in my collection. And I said, I really remember loving Blue Agave. And this is the perfect fragrance for where I live. It's warm basically 24/7 and it's a long-lasting fresh fragrance. Truly. If you're somebody that loves freshies and you want them to perform over 12 hours, you will not be disappointed with Blue Agave. Now, this one in the opening, to me, a little bit more masculine, and then it dries down fairly unisex. I do know there's a lot of women that love Blue Agave, not just smelling it on other people, but wearing it themselves as a gym fragrance, because it smells sexy when, honestly, you had a little bit of a workout and you're wearing Blue Agave, right? Like, we all kind of know how that goes. You're wearing a fresh fragrance, and whether you're working out or you went swimming and stuff and you could still kind of smell it, it's a little sexy. You know, don't play with her. Don't play with her, all right? But Blue Agave smells like, I've used this example so many times, but it really is true, taking a body shot off somebody on the beach. It smells, there's lime, there's a little bit of a salty vibe, there's agave, of course, and there's also a little bit of lavender, just for that extra blast of freshness if you needed that in the opening. But the limited collection version is my favorite right now. And I would still even recommend for y'all to get the 50 ml if the budget is a bit too tight for this one, because this is a pretty pricey fragrance. Like, these top two, like even Salt and Pepper included, and Cologne, honestly. The best affordable one here is Bonnie. But this one retails for like $460. This one's $275, I believe. So always, always, always try to get a sample of it. And when you get a sample, y'all, don't just do one spray and rub it in and smell it like that. You got to do more sprays and you don't rub it in, because you're trying to make the equivalent of the same kind of atomizer distribution, like fragrance just distribution, as you would in the regular bottle, and replicate that with the sample. So you got to do more sprays than you normally would with the sample, just so you have a better understanding of the longevity and how it really would smell like with like a full spray of this one, right? So that's what I would recommend. And then if you want to buy a bottle of it, I mean, I have like a $40 discount on it in the comment section below. So you want it for $40 off, you can do that, or you can buy it anywhere else, but that's the cheapest that you can get it online. But this fragrance, it really is sexy. I was contemplating wearing this one for the wedding, but I'm like, that's a bit too much of a fun fragrance, right? With weddings, I needed something that would just kind of give me, that would smell, that would work good also in an elevated sort of situation. And Blue Agave could do that, but I was like, between this and Lafayette Street, this would be like a better bet. Like, you're going, it's a nice fancy dinner, you're dressed to the nines. I'm like, okay, like, I'll throw on this one. Then if we're going to the beach after the next day, you already know I'm going to wear my Blue Agave. So really, really long lasting fragrance. It gets a ton of compliments. I only need I could do with 5 sprays of this fragrance and it'll last all day, right? I can even do 3 sprays of this fragrance. For those of you that are really going for performance, you can do between 5 to 7, and I promise you, you will smell it, okay? You live in humid weather, you live in hot weather, you live in dry weather, but you just need that fresh fragrance that's gonna last and stick with you all day. That will not be a problem for Blue Agave. I swear. But I personally have been loving this fragrance. And I see a little bit of that baby dent, but y'all keep an eye on it as we roll around to like August or September. I'm going to assume it'll be like down to here by August, but who knows? Like, we'll see. I have been using this one a lot. All right, again, y'all, everything, discount codes, discount links for 15% off, for $40 off, for all that sort of stuff. Where I got these fragrances is going to be in the comment section below. So feel free to support the channel and check that out if you so please. That's what I meant to say. If you want to, all right? And let me know in the comment section what your top 5 favorite fragrances of May 2024 are. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. And what the fuck is that? Oh no, I literally had something on my eyelash. What a way to end this video. I wanted to start with this, but I forgot. Thank you for 90K. Like, I love y'all. Okay, I'll talk more about that in the next video, but seriously, like, boom, right here, me and y'all, right there. Okay, have a good one. See you in the next video. Bye.